This is Radio Hereford FC on the road to Wembley.
Hello and welcome to We're Going Down the Pub with me, Frank Williams, and of course the great ground guide guru, Mr. Simon Wright. And we're live this evening from the Wagon and Horses, where they're preparing in front of us a table full of bottles of gin.
Yeah.
I know, with lots of different sort of bits of lime and lemon and grapefruit and cucumber and strawberry and whatever. It's going to be a gin tasting evening. They've lined up about 50 glasses, which is probably enough for you and me. But if there's anybody else coming in, that could be a bit of an interesting party going on.
More glasses than customers at the moment.
At the moment,
sure that will change.
We'll try and rattle through this before it changes.
Yes,
we're here to look at the not an away ground guide. We're trying to cover all the clubs who are playing in the FA Cup and FA Trophy this evening, and Simon has spent the last couple of days putting together a guide to Potter's Bar, who we will be playing in the second qualifying round of the FA Trophy on the 11th.
Yeah, it's not far away, is it? Well, you know, the draw, I mean, I didn't see that one coming. I don't really know what I was hoping for, Frank, to be honest, other than maybe I wanted somebody interesting, or I didn't want a long-distance away game. Potter's Bar, I thought, oh, all right. And that was about as excused as I got, unfortunately, but it looks winnable. But I suppose you might even argue, do we want to win it, you know? Well, the obvious problem, if you beat Potter's Bar, Kings Lynn away is no longer going to be on a Saturday.
It'll be midweek, probably in the new year sometime.
Yeah, and some horrible midweek January night, you know. And that's horrendous for our team and us.
For us. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You know? I mean, our Welsh lads, they'd be like 200 miles they'll have to travel each way.
Yes, but I bet there'll be a coach from Hereford, but it'll have to leave about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. And what time will they get back? So, but, you know, we've got a ridiculous 6 home games in January now.
In November.
I told you.
Well, this time last year we were complaining about so many away games.
Yeah, we had eight Saturdays in a row.
Didn't we? Yeah.
We're never happy, are we? But, you know, we saw on Tuesday night there's a limit to the amount of money and time that some of our supporters are willing to put into our club.
Yeah.
You know, that disappointing gate, was it just under 1,700 midweek. And our poor programme editor, Jamie Griffiths, he must feel like a mule on a treadmill.
But apart from looking like one as well. A mule on a treadmill, that's an interesting... Oh, yes.
Yes,
grinding corn and all that.
Round and round, never ending.
Our opposition then, Potter's Bar, where are they based?
Okay, yeah. I'm afraid it's one of these geography lessons. I thought, okay, vaguely knew where it was, but it's actually in Hertfordshire. 13 miles north of London, population 20,000.
It's a very interesting town. I mean, Hertfordshire is one of those counties that I always think of being borderless, because it's sort of an amorphous map that spreads into London, and you never really know where
it starts and finishes.
Whereas, you know exactly where Hertfordshire is. You cross boundaries every time you go through.
That'd be right.
But Hertfordshire is a bit different, you know. And people say Hertfordshire is a bit... Well, actually, it sort of became famous in the 60s and 70s as being sort of the last retirement point for East End criminals. They'd always move out to Potter's Bar. No, they would move out to Potter's Bar.
Really?
Yes, because it's the place to go. So it became quite affluent. But a bit like Solihull around here, except it was the final sort of resting place for East End criminals. I do remember the only reference I can think of to Potter's Bar was from, I think it was the Sweeney.
Right.
When I think there was a line, it was about... getting people to beat other people up as they did.
Unusual,
And it went something like, excuse, I haven't got an East End accent, but it went something like, I met a geezer in the pub from Potter's Bar who'd put a face in the frame from Frinton, was going to do some malice for him. And I thought, well...
That's language, isn't it?
Absolutely, but that's Potter's Bar. But anyway...
No, I vaguely hoped it was Potter's Bar was named after some ancient pub with lots of mead, but no, nothing like that. It's a combination of a Roman pottery, which was in the area, and a set of gates. I didn't really get that either, but there you go. Strange one. Okay. Now, the town is most famous for being the site of 3 rail accidents, which isn't nothing to get excited about, sadly. and providing a location for the well-known film Bloodbath at the House of Death.
Which is a well-known film that isn't particularly well-known.
No,
really.
no,
Yeah.
and I guess I'm just not.
Is
selling
that
bottles.
Bloodbath in the House of Death? That's sort of not like a Hammer horror sort of.
Oh, it sounds horribly like it,
does,
doesn't it?
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not selling Potter's Bar too well yet.
Yeah, not
am
at
I?
the moment.
No.
No.
Okay.
Okay, the team themselves. Then.
Potter's Bar Town, they're a former school team. Now, you can probably imagine this scenario, Frank. Mount Grace School, very nice school. I've been out in a few years, got a fine football team, like playing together, but they're a senior team and they're going to leave very soon. What to do? You know, the PE teacher, with help from the school and some old boys, decided that team was not going to break up. They were going to stay together. They're going to be entered as a team, called it Mount Grace Old Scholars, in the mighty Barnet and District League.
Barnet, Barnet. Right, yeah.
Barnet and District League.
Yeah,
So
that
there
keeps
you
the
go.
players together anyway.
Exactly,
yeah.
And that was in 1960, so not long ago at all, really.
No.
I mean, I was born in that year, so clearly not long ago at all.
You as young as that? Right, okay.
Yes, okay,
yeah.
moving on rapidly. Now, they were called the Scholars.
What a surprise is that? Are they still called the Scholars?
They're called the Scholars,
called the
yeah.
Scholars, yeah.
I mean, you could thought something better. The Brill Creamers, perhaps, or the Teddy Boys might have been more interesting, you know, given the era, but there you
But
go.
they've gradually built it up.
They have, they've done
Because
it.
teams
so
are
well.
formed in that sort of way. I mean, I remember when I left college, we kept our cricket team together for a few years, but eventually we sort of got swallowed up in another club, and
Yeah.
you do, don't you? Yeah.
I mean, I think that's probably what happened to that bit by bit,
Yeah.
but, you know, they managed to install floodlights in 1993 and were eligible from the FA Cup 1996 onwards.
Right. That's good.
So, in terms of honours, they've won a Step 5 championship twice. First time the ground wasn't good enough, so they told to go away. A second time in 2005. Now, they only won the league with a late surge, if I can use the expression late surge here, but there you go. It was a late surge that did it. And everybody at the club spent a frantic 6 weeks trying to
Get the
do
ground
things.
grazing up.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes. Trying to think of the right phrase there.
Yeah.
Frantically doing good work at the ground to get past the grading inspection, and they did it. So they got into Step 4 the first time ever, and they've stayed there.
Well, that's 12 years they've been there.
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
So,
so
yeah,
they're
they
pretty
haven't
solid,
been up,
you know.
they haven't been down. Solid enough, right?
Now, probably the most interesting thing about the Scholars, in 2014, they decided to introduce free season tickets for their supporters.
Right.
No, that's
Why would you pay to go to an individual game then? You might as well have a season ticket if you're not going to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, you know, it wasn't a one-season wonder. They're still doing it now.
Right?
Now, at the time, they're only getting 70 people through their gate. And it's an area, you can imagine, there's loads of clubs around there.
Oh,
You
league
know,
and non-league.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've got Arsenal, Tottenham,
Well, not
Watford,
Arsenal, what,
Barnet.
9 miles, something like that? It's not very far.
Yeah, exactly. So, initially the gates doubled, got close to trebling even.
Yeah.
And the money they lost at the gate was largely made up elsewhere.
Right, refreshments.
Yeah.
Yeah, and beer, presumably. Yeah.
Well, as the chairman
You won't have a
says,
chance
yeah.
to sample it, we hope. Yes, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, well, touch on that horrible thought a bit later on.
Yeah.
As the chairman says, people feel obligated to spend money when they get into something for nothing. You know, I sort of understand that, but
Right.
you know, since those heady days, the gates have dropped back again. Average of 117 last season.
Right.
Their last Saturday home game, 105, so they're
Right,
not
okay.
hugely supported,
No,
you know.
no.
In terms of league status, they're, shall we say, upper mid-table in the Bostik League Division 1 North. Now, that's the same league as the Hornies, which I'm
Right,
sure you
okay,
remember.
yeah.
And the Hornies are doing rather better.
So is that the Isthmian League?
As was,
Effectively?
yeah.
right,
yes,
fine.
that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I can only assume that the Scholars don't pay the players. I just can't imagine how they pay the players. They may get token expenses, but that'll be
Yeah.
about it.
Turn the pages here because this
Yeah.
this
Well, you've got the
information is
sticky
on
one.
2 sheets of paper and I've got the sticky one, yeah. Fine. So to me then, they're equivalent to a mid-table, mid to lower mid-table team in the old South and West that we were in last
Yeah,
year.
I mean,
Perhaps about on a level with sort of Slimbridge or
I was thinking, yeah.
Mansfield, or something like that.
One of the,
Yeah.
shall we say, the small, almost obscure Gloucestershire clubs that we
Yes.
came across so
So
often.
you have got your reference to small Gloucestershire villages in, and you have picked a town approximately the size of Leominster, yet again.
Well, without mentioning so, but yeah.
Well, I had to bring that in.
Oh, if
It's
you
been a lot.
insist,
It's got to be the best part of 3 weeks since we mentioned them.
Okay. Now, they do fancy themselves a bit of a cup team.
Right.
They got to the 4th qualifying round of the FA Cup last year. And this year, in various cup competitions, they played as many cup matches as league games.
Yep.
They've beaten Royston and they've beaten Bishop Stortford.
Right.
And they took Hampton and Richmond to replay.
That's
now.
their
step two. Yeah. Side. You know, their support is very much up for the cup. They're running, I presume it's a combined supporters and team coach to Edgar Street.
Yep.
And the price includes breakfast, which is a bit of a novelty.
15 quid including breakfast. Are you listening, Reg?
Yeah. We do some breakfast as well, mate. 15 quid, exactly.
But they're leaving at 8:45 in the morning.
Yeah,
so they've heard about the traffic. Right. Now, playing side of things.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to say, really. I mean, it's really hard to keep up, you know, with the comings and goings. They don't publicise them.
No.
When a player comes or a player goes, you just don't know, you know. Yeah. It's very much like these Gloucestershire sides, and their programme notes way out of date.
Okay.
Not a lot in the way of headlines or standouts. I mean, there's the odd armed robber, admittedly.
Are you serious? An armed robber?
Yeah, there's an armed robber.
And he put a face in the frame from Frinton was going to do some malice for him. Yeah, great.
Really, if you just touch on the armed robber just in a moment. Okay. Most of the squads played for fairly low-level sides in Hertfordshire, London area, 1 or 2 with academies. I think Matt Healy, our matchday man, will have problems with some pronunciations. There's a lot of African and Lithuanian names in the squad, so that'll test him again, won't it?
But yes, but we didn't notice the other night. We were expecting Dunstable to test us with names. In the end, they were quite conservative. We had a Young and we had a Barnsley, and we had people with sort of vaguely Celtic names.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. I mean, the centre forward was a bit of a double-barrel mouthful, but
sadly their best name, if I can use that expression, hasn't been in the squad in the last few weeks.
No,
because Matt was dreading that one.
I know, I was dreading it as well. I'm not even going to attempt it now.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay, the armed robber. Okay.
Right.
Now, the tabloids at the time got an easy, what another thick footballer story out of this.
Yep.
The individual at the time was a pro footballer with a London club.
Yeah.
He agreed to be a getaway driver while a so-called mate committed robbery with a knife in a co-op store.
Yep.
But he used his own car. And it's a very...
that's all right. All right.
Yeah.
It's a silver Ford Focus, that would be all right.
Well, there are millions of them.
Yeah.
This was a very distinctive car.
Yeah. What was it then?
It was a smart car. Right, why?
There's no room to get any loot in, is there really?
God, the Sweeney would be insulted, wouldn't they?
You can imagine
Regan trying to chase him down.
In the car chase, the old Ford Escort going through the streets at about 180 mile an hour with Regan and Carter behind the wheel chasing a smart car.
Oh dear.
That's a wonderful thought,
But anyway, of course, there's a horrible serious side to this. I mean, the second time they did it, and then when they did it again, a witness has spotted the car and was able to describe it. It wasn't difficult to describe, and the player was soon arrested, you know. He got a 2-year suspended sentence, a big fine, and lost his job, and frankly quite right too.
No, we don't know his name.
Well, we do know his name.
But we're not going to publicise it. But he's a playing member of their coach squad.
Yes.
Right, okay, so watch out for that.
Yeah. Okay.
We know who you are.
Yes, we do. We do.
There could be a few chants coming in here.
Yes.
But if you really want to know, we're not going to tell you because we don't face any legal challenges here. I do like what you've said here, by the way. A weird choice of getaway car, unless the idea was to use a cycle path.
Yes, true.
Yeah, that would have been good. That would. Yeah. But we can tell you that if you go to the Daily Mail website, .co.uk, it's in the public domain, news article. You know what they're like? They use these titles that it's promising dash, young dash, professional dash, footballer dash, 19 dash, used dash, own dash, smart dash, car dash, armed dash, robbery dash, getaway dash, vehicle dot html.
I'm sure you can remember all that, can't you?
Wonderful. Do we want a replay? Would we want a replay?
I'm honestly thinking a replay's worse than a defeat. Because we'd have to postpone yet another game.
Yes, but at least it's not as bad as the last one would have been. What's that one that we would have faced?
The Hornets,
FA Cup, 192, whatever.
Yeah, this one's a mere 165.
Yeah.
Yes, it's enough, isn't it?
2,000 capacity ground with
Yeah.
150 seats.
Yeah, very
Can we
nice.
say this together?
Yeah.
Literally, let's not go there. Exactly. Yeah. Yes, so we won't include Reg in any of our calculations here because Reg
Reg
we're
isn't going
not
there either.
going to go, okay? We're not going to go. Look, that's great, Alice. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. We look forward to welcoming Potter's Bar to Edgar Street on the 11th.
When they get through our traffic.
If they get, yeah, exactly. Well, it's not getting there, it's getting out afterwards.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Yeah, well, that's the worst thing. What's it going to be like against Telford next Saturday? Getting there is going to be bad enough, but getting out, I think we'll just leave it, go and have a meal in town or something till
Might as well.
midnight, and then we might stand a chance. Okay, everybody, we'll be back with you soon with, wait for it, an away ground guide.
Are we allowed?
Yes, we are. And we're going to record that for you and get that up very soon. But for then, till then, bye for now.
This is Radio Hereford FC, the home of the Bulls. Match Day Live.